but you're using the DINK. So talk to me kind of like why not? Like this terminology does matter.
Well, I will say when we were like thinking of a name for our podcast, we were literally just like thinking of cute terms. Like we really didn't have a science behind it. We were like, well, we're both dinks. We knew that, that's a popular term as we were like looking through social media. So we were like, let's just like make it like cute and fun. So we added a little Y on the end, really not thinking too much about it.
It was like the energy, like the mood of it. Yeah. Like we're dinky.
We're silly. And then it wasn't until like a year in that people started being like, dinky? That means you're not a dual income, no kid yet. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how the origin story was, just like using dinks because that's the term we applied and described ourselves as. And unfortunately, it conflicts maybe with the social mainstream now of using that term as a no kids yet movement.
Welcome to the Childfree Wealth Podcast, hosted by Bri and Dr. J, certified financial planner. Here we discuss life and finances as it relates to being child-free. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please consult your advisor before implementing any ideas heard on this podcast.
Hey, Childfree Wealth listeners, something a little different today. Brought some of my favorite friends from the Dinky pod. Now, if you haven't found this yet, you need to. Like, if you need your humor and child-free together, that's where Erika and Kristen come in. I don't know how to explain them, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And that's not because I don't love them. I love them, but like, okay, introduce yourselves and kind of like explain this thing. Because like, I tried to like put my words on exactly what you two do. And it's like everything child-free, funny, good, like entertainment is what I got.
Yeah. Kristen, do you want to take it?
That's like the most basic question you could ask us. And I don't think Erika and I have any idea.
I would say we're like your unhinged, child-free besties. How's that?
Unhinged is probably a good word. I mean, no, wait.
I'll say it so you don't have to. How's that?
Yeah, there you go.
No, it was funny. I was talking with Bri about this as we were working on recording stuff, and like, it's hard with some of the child-free stuff. It gets like almost too serious at times.
Oh, yeah.
And you two have found a way to make it like,
I think that's why we started our podcast, because we were like, everything out there feels so like serious and
heavy.
Heavy. And we were like, we're just not into that. We want to just like take what we text each other about every day and turn it into a podcast. And I think we've been like semi-successful in that.
I think we've done a great job, and I think we've evolved really into our social media niche now. Like our child-free memes have now like outpaced our podcast, so our growth has been really successful there. So I think really that's a good summary, Erika. Child-free besties. We have a lot of memes, a lot of content. You can't get rid of us, honestly. We're on every social media platform doing different things every single day on different social media channels, and we don't shut the F up.
Yeah, and as much as we're very messy, I will say, we got to give ourselves some credit. Like, our work is, like, research-based and, like, backed, and so we'll take studies into consideration. We're not too unhinged. We're just the right amount of unhinged.
There you go.
So we have a month coming up where we're doing like estate planning and long-term care and wills and caring for parents, and we're looking at our podcast and we're like, wow, that's going to be a rough month. Like it's like deep, good stuff. And then I look at yours like, who knows this week? Some celebrity gossip or some like, I'm like, maybe we're doing the wrong podcast. I don't know. That's why I brought you two here to.
We wonder every day if we're doing the wrong podcast, so you're not alone.
You got a lot more followers than us, so I think you're doing it right. But now, just to kind of look behind the scenes, because I love sharing behind the scenes, we actually talked about before, like some things to talk about, and I'm already going to go off the script because I just realized I have to. And we're recording this in December, and we're in the middle of, like, there was this big old push on the DINK life, and, like, these, I don't know, Elon Musk got all pissy over it, and I'm not on Twitter because of that, like, and other things, but, like, you two use the DINK term. We don't use it as much because our argument is there are people that are dinks that are not, or that may have kids eventually. Those are like the dinkies.
Oh, right.
And from financial, if you're in the like not yet, we're not the right place for you. But you're using the dinks. So talk to me kind of like why not? Like this terminology does matter.
Well, I will say when we were like thinking of a name for our podcast, we were literally just like thinking of cute terms. Like, we really didn't have a science behind it. We were like, well, we're both dinks. We knew that, you know, that's a popular term as we were like looking through social media. So we were like, let's just like make it like cute and fun. So we added a little Y on the end, really not thinking too much about it. It's just a cute little name.
It was like the energy, like the mood of it. Yeah. Like, we're dinky.
We're silly. And then it wasn't until like a year in that people started being like, dinky? That means you're not a dual income, no kid yet. And we were like, oh, son of a...
Fuck off.
Yeah,
can we curse on this? I just realized maybe we can't swear.
You can bleep us if there's children who want financial wealth information.
Who are child-free. Yeah, no.
Who are child-free. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how the origin story was, just like using dinks because that's the term we applied and described ourselves as. And unfortunately, it conflicts maybe with the social mainstream now of using that term as a no kids yet movement. Erika, do you have anything to add?
No, it's like weird to me that it's like I've seen so many media companies like talking about the term dink as if it's like a new phrase. It's not new. It's been around. So it's funny to me that it's like people are discovering it now. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah, I actually have Dr. Neil's coming on later in the podcast. They actually just put an article on defining the term child-free and how to do it in research. And they're really kind of like trying to like, because that matters. In research, you need a specific term.
Yeah.
But in like the public, are you dink sink? Are you child free? Are you not? Are you childless? I lose my mind. But like, it does matter from an engagement standpoint. Like, for those who don't follow all the social media, somebody posted on this is what our dink life was like, and just silly things. But for some reason, I picked up and just people started getting all types of cranky about it.
Oh my gosh, I know. Are you talking about the one where it's the couple like walking and being like, we're dinks, we blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people having feels about that one.
Someday we'll all come to a better term. I actually was just on This Week in Child Free, and we were reviewing one of these, and they were talking about like this, where the terms came from and voluntary childlessness and all like, and it came from eugenics and like, holy, wow, like it got like social evils and like, I was like, whoa, we got deep way quick on that. But so we will use the term dink today, dual income, no kids, for those that aren't familiar. There are all types of versions of that, with a dog, without. Dual income, large dog owners, a little different one, like there's all different types. I don't care, but we will use that because that's where you come from. And I saw you got something called DINK math. Now, I'm a math geek in finance, but help me understand this.
Yeah, okay. So you were very kind. You came on our podcast to give us financial wisdom, and we're here to show you how much that did not sink in.
No pun intended for us sinks.
I'm glad I wasted my time.
We're here to teach you about some DINK math. We'll just start by saying it costs around $17,000 per year to raise a child. So if most households have, on average, around 2 kids, that means that I should be able to spend $30,000 on whatever I want every single year. To put that in context, that's almost $82 per day that for free I am obligated to spend just because I don't have kids.
Right. And I know like a lot of financial advisors would say, well, you can invest that money. That's not money you have to throw away or you have to use, right? That's extra money in your pocket. Invest it, increase it in the stock market. But parents aren't investing that money. Your kids are not an investment. You're throwing it out the window. So to be fair and equal, we have to also use it in very poor choice ways. So here are some practical DINK math applications we've come up with.
Came up with our top 6. Number 6 is that owning a cat is only costs about $1,000 a year. Plus, they have the added benefit of reducing blood pressure. In theory, I could adopt up to 30 cats for free and be healthier because of it.
Per year.
Per year. It's a steal.
That's amazing.
My wife and I have a 2-pet rule here, okay? You're like freaking me out, all right? She actually listens to the podcast. I'm just saying, not a choice.
Okay, okay.
Nope, we're not doing 30 cats.
Oh,
we have
man.
7 outdoor outside of our apartment. She's already trying to adopt them. Like, no, we will pay for them to get spaded, neutered, and give them to someone else. But at least we can do that and still afford it, I guess.
Yes, that's what's important.
That is what's important. Okay, well, if the cat option doesn't work for you, don't worry. We got 5 other options. Because I'm a dink, I don't need to pay for a sitter when I go out. So let's imagine you have kids and you're going out on the town for 5 hours. You want to pay your sitter a decent wage, so you're probably looking at like $25 an hour. That means, yeah, depending on where you live, I'm sure it changes, but at least $25 an hour. And that means you have about $125 extra money to spend on top of what you would normally spend on a night out. If I don't use that $125 that night, it goes away. It's lost money. So you got to use it. So you got to get the guac, the extra guac. You got to get that third margarita. And you got to Uber both ways because you got to be safe. So you got to put that money to use.
Okay, so here's one that's going to surprise you. I've actually had the discussion about the margarita. And I had a client say, well, I'm worried I'm going to run out of money to the other. And I said, what do you cut back on? She's like, well, I always think before I get the second margarita. I'm like, buy the damn margarita.
What? You're just getting started.
Yeah.
Get the damn margarita.
Interestingly enough, and yeah, I'm the serious one of the 3 of us, I guess, here. I actually spend more time talking to my clients about spending money than saving money because
oh my gosh,
it's such a big issue. Now, go to the extremes you're going to, but I'm with you. Like, buy the good blueberries, buy the margarita, let's enjoy.
I love that.
Okay, you're on board with math. I love this. Okay,
well,
let's
more
see
than the cats, okay? Like, the 30 cats, I'm just picturing them in my apartment, like,
30 cats isn't for everyone, but here we go. Let's try this one. Okay, for me personally, this is a personal example. So it costs me roughly $400 every time I get my hair touched up, which might seem like a big expense to some people at first. But here's the thing, for listeners who don't have the access to the video, just an FYI, I do currently have blue hair. With blue hair, the benefit is that I get carded every time I order a drink now. Which, let's be clear, if I was a mom with blue hair, I would have absolutely no friends at the PTA meeting. As a dink, I have the luxury of having the blue hair. I don't have moms giving me side-eye being like, you're not responsible, you're not a respectable human being. So now that I'm getting carded, that's an additional ego bump. That means I am avoiding an existential crisis. So you know what that means. Therapy, when you're spiraling out, is easily $200 a week. If I take that $200 per week for the 8 weeks that I have between my hair appointments, that is actually $1,600. Now, if I'm subtracting that $400 from my hair cost, that means that I have now made $1,200 from having blue hair.
She's rich.
I'm rich.
I'm not complaining about this. I will tell you, I'll one-up you because for $5, I do my haircut every couple of days, and I don't have to worry about it.
Are you getting carded, though? Is
I
the
don't
therapy...
drink, so I don't care.
Okay. All right. There we go. There we go.
I don't know. Maybe it's just different guys versus gals. You know,
there we go.
Carding me, who cares? But I'm just going to give you a little money-saving tip.
Okay. Maybe that's the next thing.
You know?
Next time we're on this podcast, we'll both be bald.
I think they just assured they'll never come back on the podcast.
Well, that one was one of my personal favorites of Dink Math because you're actually making money. You're earning money when you spend it. This one is one of my personal favorites because I do this one a lot. I think number 3 for Dink Math for us is upgrading your flight. If you upgrade your flight to the better seats, and in this case, let's say you're going on an international trip, you're going on that once every couple years trip, that big trip, and you are spending that extra $800 per person to get the lay-down seats. If you can't sleep on that plane, you're going to arrive unrested. You're going to waste a full day because you're out of it, you're confused, you're not enjoying your time, you're concerned about getting like a migraine. And time is money, baby. Time is money. So if you spend an extra 12 hours at your hotel when you could have been enjoying vacation, you are losing memory dividends. And those are priceless. Upgraded flight is actually free, if not giving you money back. Easily.
And if you're smart and you have the mileage programs, you get extra bonus points for those upgraded. Don't forget that.
We're going to get to that. Don't you worry.
We're going to get to that, too.
All right.
We've thought of it all. So I think we need to take it in a different direction for 1 second to just talk about long-term investments because this is a financial podcast. We got to be taking this seriously. Naturally, as a DINK, I need to think about my long-term health because I won't have someone to look after me. But since massages lower your blood pressure and boost your immune system, I'm preventing healthcare costs that may have impacted me in my 70s, 80s, and 90s. So the massage is not only free, it is actually a long-term investment.
Yep. Reducing your costs over time for all of the health you would need to do and all of the aid assistance you would need if you didn't get the massages.
Exactly.
I'm with you. I call that investing in your health. And actually, the actual, like, if you want to get, like, all fancy on it, when you get all fancy, you get concierge medicine, where you actually pay your own doc, where you have, like, on speed dial, essentially, but they're doing all the tests. Great investment. Massages, all right, I'm with you. Let's invest in what matters.
Yeah,
that's right.
Spa day, everybody.
Your
you
health.
have to do it. Your health comes first.
All right. And last but certainly not least, getting the best credit card with the best point system. Coming back to Dr. J's thoughts on using mileage. So yes, your Chase Sapphire Reserve might be $550 a year, but you get free travel credits that automatically give you back $300 that you're going to spend. It's actually only $250. And then you get up to 10 times the points with travel. So even more reason to take vacations to make those memory dividends that are priceless. So not only are you getting a free credit card after points, but your vacations are permanently on sale. That is a 2-for-1 special. Dink math.
Unbeatable.
I'm with you as
think?
long as you pay off that credit card every month. We're not keeping
sorry.
a balance on a credit card. We're not going to, no interest on the credit card. Come on.
That's right.
Kristen and I never do that.
No. Never.
We won't actually talk about their reactions, but if you see it on the TV, on the YouTube, on the video, on the
We're very responsible fiscally.
Yes, we never YOLO.
Yeah, just saying, by the way, I'm looking for volunteers or people that want to do financial planning live on our podcast. So maybe we should schedule you individually to...
Oh, maybe.
We might be booked for some time.
We'll see how that DINK math does. All right, let me go with your DINK math, but I'm going to go a little differently, and you'll have to figure out the math on this one afterwards. But I was having this discussion with a couple. Two professionals, they're busting their butt, they're doing great at their job, and they're struggling to kind of keep the house clean and the food and the groceries. And I said, hire a nanny. And they're like, what are you talking about? I said, listen, you're a couple in your mid-30s doing well career-wise. If you had kids, you would hire a nanny who would help with the clothing and the cooking and the cleaning and all that. And nobody would think twice about it.
Yeah.
So hire yourself a nanny. And it like blew up their brain, but think about it.
I'm obsessed with that. That's a great idea.
I love that. I didn't even know that I was allowed to do that. I mean, we have a cleaning person, but I've never thought about having someone come help with other things.
Well, that's what a nanny would do. Like, seriously.
Right.
Don't actually, advertise for a nanny because they'll think you're weird. Technical term, house managers, there's different people that do this that would have been normal for somebody with kids to have.
Totally.
But we forget that we could do that.
Oh,
Right.
I love that.
I can't wait to have that much money that I can get a nanny for no kids. That's going to be my future aspiration.
That's
2024.
goals, for
Here I
sure.
come.
Oh, hold on, though. You just did the DINK math, and you said we are saving this money by not having a kid, so you have the money.
Oh, you're right.
You're right.
You're right.
Just
We've been...
That's part of that $17,000 each year. I mean, if I'm going to follow,
What if we take a loan out to pay for the nanny that is a long-term investment? Is
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
Except, okay.
We're in a no debt world over here, but I don't want to preach to you on that one because you'll both hang up pretty quick.
No, we're big fans of the credit card, We're big fans of taking out a loan.
Yeah, I'm big fans of credit cards. You pay it off. I pay mine off every week. I'm a little crazy about that.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so the nanny's one. So you can add that in. I'll loan that to you free of charge. You can do a meme on that, and you'll get 40,000 likes, and I'll, get nothing.
We'll tag you. You'll get some dividends.
Yeah.
All right. The other one, and this is related somewhat. Do you two like dining out a lot?
Oh my God. Guilty
Too
as
much.
charged.
Okay, I've done this with people, and it's actually cheaper to pay a professional chef to come do it in your house. So they do meal prep for the week. So like they make all the meals based on your thing. And the way to do this, you find your favorite restaurant, whatever your favorite is, you find their sous chef. That's the number 2 person. Oh. And you say, hey, I'll pay you per hour to do all my grocery shopping for you and do meal prep, put it all in the fridge with notes on kind of what do I do and when do I do it. It's actually cheaper than dining out, and you get exactly what you want made your way in your house.
Do you
That's
do this?
amazing.
I've looked at it. We don't dine out that much.
Okay.
But I did it with a couple clients, and we did the math on it. It was remarkably cheap. It's not cheap because you're dining out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
You two are probably spending $1,000 a month on dining out anyway.
Right.
Probably more than that. I'm looking at your faces, but
We live in Portland. It's like the best food city in America.
It's a good food city. Yeah.
the other way it happens is like if you have very common, like if you're like on like Nextdoor or like any of those apps, there's moms who are home that will do meal prep for other moms. Because they're like, they want to make money while their kids are sleeping, whatever. So they make all like casseroles or dishes and they just drop it off.
Wow, that's
love
smart.
this.
That's really smart.
is
Is that our next
great.
business idea, Erika? We've had so many.
No.
Okay.
But I mean, when you think about it, you know, if you're going to do your DINK math, you know, we would be paying for that support anyway.
Yeah, right.
So it's free according to you two.
It is free.
That's true.
According to us. Yes, and we are smart.
Okay, and then you wonder why people say, well, there's this assumption that all dinks have money and they're all rich.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
let's
you
talk about
literally
that.
just played
Let's talk about that.
You literally just played in the stereotype.
Well, we also admitted that we may or may not have debt.
Well, after seeing your DINK math, I'm not surprised you got debt. Okay. We're like justifying it based on what we might have spent if we happen to have kids, not what we actually make.
Right. Erika, on a scale from 1 to 10, how happy is your life?
15.
Right, exactly. 15. If I wasn't dink mathing, I think I'd be at like a 5.
Oh, I'd be depressed.
Yeah, I'd be depressed. It's not worth
See,
it.
I'd argue you made a 5 for a little bit, but then once you're doing it all with cash, it's so much better. Because you know what happens? We needed a new couch for our apartment. They're carrying it in right now. I don't have to. I could pay for it, no problem. Cash. It's my couch. I don't owe the credit card company or pay a percentage. Get whatever I want.
Right.
You just
Yeah.
gotta do the hard work up front.
I love looking at
about
Erika's
that.
face in particular. She's just like, that's nice. That's not going to happen.
I'm happy for you, Dr. Day. I might just go drink 3 Panera lemonades,
Yeah.
be done with it, and then it's on Chase Sapphire's
Dime.
on their tab. Yeah, on their dime.
Okay, so you two are probably falling. I saw something the other day. They did a buy now, pay later to pay for their groceries.
Oh,
And I'm
no.
like,
No, those
That's not
things,
good.
I don't do any of that. I get very nervous about that. I work with, to get serious for a second, I work with a lot of Gen Zers, and I'll hear them talk about, like, what's that little, it's one of those buy now, pay later things for,
Klarna,
like, small,
Afterpay. Yeah.
yes, for, like, small things. And I'm like, you guys, no, we have to limit some things. That gets really dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, we joke a lot about spending money on the credit card and like taking out loans, which we're guilty of. Okay, let's be honest. We do have
Yeah.
a little bit of that, and I do leverage that, but I don't go insane the way I've seen people on the internet go insane.
I feel like I'm in a safe-ish zone.
Right. Right. Safe-ish. Living on the edge.
Dr. J is never going to talk to us again.
I'm gonna laugh because like, you know, now I like need to hunt down and be like, all right, we do a 6-month financial planning program. We're gonna get you on. We're gonna do 6 months with you. We'll record
on
it
track.
publicly. We'll share your dirt and get you in a better place, and you'll be happier at the end. And you'll be kicking and screaming the entire time.
Right. Definitely. So here's the thing. I do, of us two, I love financial planning. I like
Kristen
the
always says this to me.
banks.
I love financial planning.
I do. I really love it. I enjoy it.
I know,
enjoy
but you say it
investing.
like I don't.
Oh, but you don't. You gave me like all like you're like you handle all the taxes and all
Well,
the business
the
stuff.
taxes and stuff for the business, I don't like doing it. For my personal self, I'm fine. For the record, yeah.
So
I
I'm like
invest. I like financial stuff.
okay.
Kristen's
Okay.
like-
Okay. I mean, we don't have to fight about this. Like you can do
We're
the
fighting over
math.
who likes finances more. Like,
You're right. I'll let Kristen own this.
Okay, I'm gonna own this one. I do enjoy it. I also feel like we're in a place where our Dinky is kind of our mini business right now. And there are investments that we are making into the business that definitely are not paying anything. And we're justifying it for no major reason other than we enjoy doing it and maybe it'll pay us back. So it's not like a solid business plan. And we recognize that. But we're having a good time doing it. And on the 1 to 10 scale, we are 15 currently. So bam, math.
So what I just heard is you two spend way too much time trying to justify your credit card debt.
Yeah, probably.
Paying 20% interest on. I'm all for investing in your business, investing in your life, investing in what you enjoy. You know, my goal is always to get you more of what you enjoy and less of what you don't.
Right.
But what happens is people doing mindless spending miss their bigger goals.
Right.
So,
Erika gave a face. Erika, do you do mindless spending?
Absolutely not.
I'm waiting for a lightning bolt to hit you and just like...
I don't know what that term even means.
Yeah, what does that term? Let's talk about that. What does that mean? Does that mean I'm not thinking through if I have this money or not actually and can pay it off actually? Is that mindless spending?
So watch this. Let's just... we're not going to go too deep in your finances because then you'll like yell at me. But let's just say the two of you, your goal was to create a business that was going to outlast you and needs money to grow. The question is, would you rather have money to invest in your business or would you rather buy that Panera lemonade?
The Panera lemonade is going to send me to the afterlife.
I don't care if you spend money on Panera lemonades or, you know, avocado toast or whatever you do. I'm not in that school. But where I'm more at is like, are you spending money on the things that are going to your goals? Like, for example, you want to travel to Paris? Do you want to travel to Paris or do you want to order DoorDash? DoorDash is a great example.
Right.
DoorDash, you pay the delivery fee and the tip and the blah, 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 and you're paying double for that Panera lemonade now.
Right, but you're also, with your Chase Sapphire Reserve, getting a year free of that service.
Can you tell Kristen likes her credit card, all right?
I should be sponsored by Chase Sapphire
We
Reserve.
really should. Actually, Kristen, we should add that to the list of people we should reach out to.
That's a good idea.
We'll ignore that I asked to sponsor them like 3 months ago and they never got back to me. But, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, you did?
I forgot about that. See,
What?
This is why our business is not profitable.
See, this is my whole point. You need to have a plan.
Yeah.
We need a nanny for the podcast who can do these little tasks for us.
Let's go a little more on this DINK math, I guess you call it.
Yeah.
The other one there would be a personal assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually would be great for you two because somebody's got to keep you in control. I mean, like, man,
Yeah,
I think I had ADD and you two have me beat some days. But like, I'm not judging. We're in the same space. We're all in the
safe space.
We're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
But you two are doing things you enjoy, but there's not a set
Yeah.
plan. That's the difference.
Right. We come up with a lot of ideas. We're ideas people right now, and we're waiting for our big break. We're waiting for those MTV producers to give us a shout, you know?
Okay. So I don't know if you saw, like, about a year ago, there was like a call for people for my Best Childfree Life reality show. Did you see that?
No.
Oh.
So
We
it
would
was
be
one of the-
great for that.
Really?
It was in one of the Facebook groups, and I don't know if it died or not, but like it's a year later, I haven't seen it. But you know, who knows? With TV, it could come out like tomorrow. But the debate was, so you go on there, you know, it's kind of like Lifestyles of Rich and Famous, but for child-free people. Essentially, kind of what they pitched it as. Is that a good or a bad picture of child-free or DINK life? Of like, hey, I'm rich and jetting the world and doing my thing, versus like, there are a lot of people that have no kids and are still struggling.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you
Totally.
think? First of all, it sounds like you two would be on the show, but like, you know, what do you think?
I mean,
Is it
I think just like any other group, there's an array of people who fall into certain camps. Like there are the dinks who are very superfluous with their money and they're spending it on everything and they're going on vacations and they're upgrading to first class every time. There are people who can't afford. I mean, we see that all the time on our social media content. There's like people who are just like, I'm a dink, but I literally can barely like afford my day-to-day finances. So I think there's a spectrum. And I think what our like philosophy has been, it's just like, try to enjoy your life while being and maintaining like being a good person. We promote like ethical things, like think about where you're sourcing your food from, like child-free people we know donate their time more than like any other population. Like we are all about like helping kids. Like just because we're child-free doesn't mean that we don't like kids. Helping kids, helping families. Like we're be a good person and also know that you're all going to die and enjoy your life a little bit while you're here. Right, Erika? What do you think?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's jokes aside, like on our podcast, we have a segment called Dink Yourself, which is all about like the frivolous or ridiculous things that we do as dinks that we couldn't do otherwise. But we do try to, like, as much as we talk about like the frivolous purchases we made, we also like to talk about like the time invested in things that we wouldn't be able to do, like, you know, being involved in your neighborhood association or doing things for your community, giving back. Because I think that dinks have an unfair stereotype for being, like Kristen says, superfluous with money, being irresponsible. Not even irresponsible, just being, like, wasteful. And I think that sometimes can speak more loudly to the general population as, like, these people don't care about the planet. They don't care about the future. They don't care about social causes, which is, like, absolutely untrue. Like, fundamentally, I think that, like, we have more time and energy than anyone to be stressing and concerned about like everything that's happening in the world. And I think arguably like a lot of people are dinks because they don't want to inflict all of these social issues to a child. So yeah, I mean, we have fun with like being dinks and being ridiculous with our time and money. But I think when it comes down to like brass tacks, you know, like the reason that we're child free, the reason that we're dinks is very much because we care about community and the future that we're building for everybody.
Oh my gosh, well said, Erika. Well, just claps to that. That was great.
Thank you.
If you want to see the data, the philanthropic people, these are the people that beg for money from nonprofits. Mm-hmm. They will tell you 100% that child-free folks donate a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
Because they target us. Like, you know, they're like,
totally.
Hey, so where are you putting your estate to? Like, I mean, and that is.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they would not target us if they thought we were going to just take the money and spend it.
Right.
They've done the research. If you want sponsors, maybe you should, you know, beg for money for nonprofits and they can sponsor it for you. Just saying.
Add it to the list.
That and your Chase Sapphire preferred or whatever, you know.
We're going to be loaded.
I have the cheaper Chase Sapphire because I can't justify the $500 a year. I just can't in my head. But I got you. I get where you're going.
The $300 travel credit, Dr. J.
I know. Dr. J, come on.
Come on.
I'm one of those where most of my money, frankly, is going into this enterprise and building child-free wealth and building structures and trying to understand. I'm trying to build something that doesn't exist.
What about your wife? Where's she putting her money?
Luckily, she doesn't spend much. Her, let's call it habit, is what I call fruit dresses. So she works in food insecurity. That's actually her research. So she's got like fruits and vegetable dresses, like Erika has flowers, but they're like fruits and vegetables.
Oh, cute.
So she's like, I found another fruit dress. I'm like, cool.
I have some fruit sweaters that I can send to
for
her.
her birthday, I had to get it special order because it wasn't very. Kate Spade put out a tomato purse. Mm-hmm. So I had to search find the tomato purse because it matched the rest of her.
Oh my gosh, I
love that. That's so cute.
We all have our things. Where can they find you? Like, they want more of this unhinged stuff. Let's call it that. I think it was your word. Where are you?
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Dinky Pod.
And we have all the links to our actual podcast through those accounts. But start there and come for the child-free memes and stay for the Unhinged podcast.
Is there a line in between those two, or just like, you know?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you're separating out the memes from the unhinged. I mean, I think everything's unhinged.
Oh, it's all
that's
unhinged.
fair. Yeah, I think we're more unhinged on podcasts because there's no editing or vetting. Like Erika and I send every meme back and forth and work on it to every single thing that goes on our social media we collaborate on. Whereas Erika can't stop me right now. You don't know what I'm going to say next. It could be crazy.
Oh, true.
And you can't stop me. So a little bit more unhinged on podcast.
We'll add all that in the show notes too. So thank you for coming on.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please consider leaving a rating or review. We'd love to keep the conversation going. Follow Childfree Wealth on social media or email us at podcast@childfreewealth.com. If you're interested in working together, book a free consultation call by visiting our website, childfreewealth.com. We'll see you next week.